Most people are not confused because life is complicated. They are confused because their mind is noisy. Every day, thoughts collide. Opinions pull in opposite directions. Emotions rise before reason has a chance to speak. And slowly, without realizing it, people lose control, not of the world, but of themselves. Stoicism begins exactly there, not with changing circumstances, but with changing perception. If you can learn to think clearly, you stop being manipulated by appearances. If you can act calmly, you stop being ruled by impulse. If you can stay in control, you stop being a prisoner of emotion. This is not philosophy for bookshelves. This is philosophy for survival. Stoicism was never meant to impress others. It was meant to steady the soul in a chaotic world. Clear thinking begins with one brutal realization. Most of what disturbs you is not happening in reality. It is happening in your interpretation. Events themselves are neutral. They simply occur. It is the judgment you attach to them that creates suffering. A delay becomes disrespect. A mistake becomes a failure. Silence becomes rejection. But none of these meanings are inherent. They are chosen. The Stoics understood this deeply. That is why they trained the mind before reacting to the world. To think clearly means to pause before labeling, to separate facts from stories, to ask not, why is this happening to me, but what exactly is happening. When you strip events down to facts, fear weakens, anger loses its fuel, anxiety no longer feels inevitable. A clear mind does not deny emotion. It simply refuses to let emotion distort reality. Most people do the opposite. They feel first, then think. The Stoic learns to think first, then feel. This does not make you cold. It makes you accurate. Clarity is power because it gives you options. Confusion gives you only reactions. When the mind is clear, action becomes calm. Calm action is not slow action. It is deliberate action. It is the ability to move without being rushed by fear or pushed by anger. In moments of pressure, most people panic because they confuse urgency with importance. The Stoic separates the two. Not everything that feels urgent deserves immediate response. Not every provocation requires a reply. Not every emotion demands expression. Calmness is not weakness. It is restraint guided by wisdom. A calm person sees further, hears more, misses less. Anger narrows vision. Fear accelerates mistakes. Excitement clouds judgment. Calmness clears the field. This is why Stoics practiced mental discipline daily, not when life was easy, but before it became difficult. They prepared the mind like a soldier prepares for battle, because they knew chaos does not announce itself. It arrives suddenly, and in that moment, you will not rise to your ideals. You will fall to your habits. So Stoicism teaches you to build habits of control long before you need them. Control does not mean controlling others. It does not mean suppressing reality. It means governing your inner world, regardless of what happens outside. This is the core of Stoic freedom. You cannot control outcomes. You cannot control people. You cannot control chance. But you can control your judgments, your intentions, and your responses. That is enough. When you accept this, something profound happens. You stop wasting energy fighting reality. You stop resenting what you cannot change. You stop blaming others for your inner state. And suddenly, you feel lighter. Not because life is easier, but because resistance is gone. Most suffering comes from arguing with what is. The Stoic does not ask for life to be fair. He asks himself to be resilient. This mindset transforms challenges into training. Every insult becomes a test of ego. Every delay becomes a test of patience. Every loss becomes a test of perspective. Nothing is wasted. Clear thinking, calm action, and inner control work together. When one is missing, the others collapse. If you think clearly but act impulsively, you sabotage yourself. If you act calmly but think irrationally, you stagnate. If you seek control without clarity or calm, you become rigid. Stoicism is balance. It teaches you to observe thoughts without obeying them, to feel emotions without becoming them, to engage with the world without being consumed by it. This is not detachment from life. It is engagement without self-destruction. One of the hardest Stoic lessons is accepting that discomfort is part of growth. Modern culture promises comfort. Stoicism promises strength. Comfort makes you fragile. Strength makes you adaptable. The Stoic does not seek hardship, but he does not flee from it either. He understands that adversity reveals character more than ease ever could. When things go well, anyone can appear calm. When things fall apart, only discipline remains. That is why Stoics practiced voluntary discomfort, to remind themselves that they could endure cold, silence, hunger, solitude, not as punishment, but as training. Because when you know you can survive less, you fear losing less. Fear is often rooted in dependency, on comfort, on approval, on certainty. Stoicism cuts these dependencies one by one, not to isolate you, but to free you. A person who needs nothing is difficult to control. This does not mean rejecting relationships or success. It means not tying your peace to them. You can enjoy without clinging, love without possession, achieve without arrogance. This is inner control, and inner control creates outer stability. People trust those who are steady, respect those who are composed, listen to those who are not ruled by emotion. But Stoicism is not about image, it is about alignment, aligning thoughts with reality, actions with values, emotions with reason. When alignment exists, conflict decreases, not because problems disappear, but because you stop fighting yourself. The Stoic understands that life is unpredictable, but character does not have to be. You may not know what will happen tomorrow, but you can know how you will respond. That certainty is priceless. It turns anxiety into preparation, fear into focus, anger into restraint. Clear thinking allows you to see what matters. Calm action allows you to do what is necessary. Inner control allows you to remain whole, regardless of outcome. This is not about becoming perfect. Stoicism does not demand perfection. It demands awareness. Awareness of impulses, awareness of limitations, awareness of mortality. The Stoics reflected daily on death, not to become morbid, but to become precise. When you remember that time is limited, pettiness loses importance. Ego loses urgency. Distraction loses appeal. You stop postponing what matters. You stop reacting to what doesn't. Mortality sharpens clarity. It reminds you that anger wastes time, that resentment poisons the present, that worry steals moments that will never return. Stoicism brings you back to now, not in a mystical way, but in a grounded way. What is required of you in this moment? What is within your control? What response aligns with your values? Nothing more, nothing less. When you live this way consistently, something quiet but powerful emerges. Self-respect, not the loud kind that demands recognition, but the silent kind that does not need it. You stop proving, stop explaining, stop defending. Your actions speak. Your calm becomes noticeable. Your clarity becomes rare. your control becomes intimidating, not because it dominates, but because it cannot be shaken. This is the Stoic presence, not aggressive, not passive, unmoved. And this presence changes how you experience life. You stop being surprised by difficulty. Stop expecting ease. Stop fearing discomfort. You begin to trust yourself. Not because you believe everything will go well, but because you know you will handle whatever comes. That is real confidence. Stoicism does not remove pain. It removes unnecessary suffering. It does not promise happiness. It promises stability. And stability is what allows joy to exist without fear of loss. This is the discipline of Menzi, not noise, not excess, not performance, but quiet mastery. If these ideas resonate with you, stay here. This space is for those who choose clarity over chaos, calm over impulse, and control over reaction. And if you want to continue building a mind that cannot be easily disturbed, remain connected to this channel. What we explore here is not meant to entertain for a moment, but to shape how you live every day.